Rolling.
And podcast start.
There we go. Good. Okay, now we're good. Mic check, camera check, all good. We okay? Alright. Hey y'all, it's your boy Pulak welcoming you to another episode of the PlayStation India podcast. Today I'm joined by Cyril, Jose and Xerxes, and we're gonna be talking about Death Stranding 2 because it released today, 26th of June. That's the day it is. So let's get started. Firstly, I wanted to ask you guys what really captivated you about Death Stranding 1?
What's Death Stranding? I'm just kidding.
I avoided the game like the plague when it came out because everybody said walking simulator and I was bored enough sitting at home already, so I didn't want to touch another walking simulator. But when Death Stranding 2 started like hyping, popping up, and I have a couple of friends who had the audacity to platinum it, and I was like, okay, must be a good game, so I have to try. So I finished Death Stranding 1 in a week, put in about 70 hours, and it's weird and you want to hate it but you love it and you don't know why and you can't stop playing it. Like I've put 12 hour 15 hour sessions in the night and the solidarity just...
He's in a relationship with the game
I
basically.
am. Man, as soon as I ended 1, I got the code for 2. I started playing it the same night and boom. But we'll talk about 2 later.
But 70 hours you finished the game. I'm 70 hours and I think I'm only halfway through.
No, so I knew there were 70 main missions. So I was like, and I know that Mr. Kojima likes to really pull the cinematics a lot.
There are some people who have like 2,000 hours.
Yeah, I can imagine.
PS1.
And they have like a race car track and all in the first game, right? And I'm like, I like trekking.
Yeah.
I am gonna trek. Give me an exoskeleton with added hydraulics. Main chala mountain pe. And you had a thing about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Too, right?
With me, even I've started backwards, right? While I did get Death Stranding 1 because it's available on PlayStation Plus now. Yeah, but I started with 2, and I think the first thing that came to me that really blew my mind, besides the graphics, is the physics of the trekking part. Like when you're climbing up the mountain, especially when you're going up a hill, you're going up a steep thing, it slows you down. Your grip starts to slip around. You can drop your cases out. So I think for me, that was insane because I love trekking. I've been trekking all over the country and outside the country.
This is not helping the walking simulator allegations.
No, I just want to say that I know it's a thing, but like, trust me, the physics of the game, absolutely worth it, right? And I mean, I didn't start 1 because like Xerxes was saying, Jose's been playing since 1984 and he still hasn't finished it as yet. So I was like, okay, let me just start with 2 and go backwards with 1. But yeah, the physics is insane.
You started before Kojima knew you were making the game.
We're never beating this walking simulator allegations now after this.
But you know what? It's fine. It is a walking simulator. But now with part 2, it's a walking simulator with Metal Gear Solid mechanics where the action is amped up to 10.
Yeah.
Like think of it as Dune the movie if you didn't like part 1 because it was too slow and then suddenly part 2 is like all guns blazing.
In the thick of it. Yeah.
Exactly that. Death Stranding 1 is set up, the whole thing. And then part 2, here's everything. Go wild. And like the walking is easier.
Yeah.
The combat is more engaging.
Correct.
The cinematics are fun.
Cinematics are insane. Like I just think the details and everything, and I know Xerxes and I will agree on this, like the hair texture, right? The
We are very, very specific about how is hair shown in the game.
And he hadn't even put the PS5 on at that point. He was in front of a mirror at that point. He was like, whoa, the hair
He was
looking
like washing
great.
the sink. He was like normal readers at a sink.
Yeah. What about you, Jose?
Yeah, what about you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
No, talk about the 1984 experience of Death Stranding 1.
No, so there's this exclusive club of Death Stranding 1 lovers. That sounds so wrong. It's like lovers, night lovers. So when the game came out, it was so amazing. I really wanted to be part of that club. So everyone who had recommended it, I said, man, okay, let's check it out. Got the game, popped it in. I hated it. The first time I really hated it. I was like, bro, my God, what? Am I going to lose this much of my life to this? What? Are you crazy? Tried the first time, tried the second time. Still not clicking for me. I was like, man, this is probably the worst game ever. Those people on the internet are
They're
right.
just trolling us.
Yeah.
They're just trolling us. The ones who said it's nice to troll us.
The people on the internet are right. It is a walking simulator. Then third try, again I hated it. And then I let go.
Right.
Then at some point, for some reason, I think the director's cut
Came out.
was on PlayStation
PS Plus,
Plus.
Yeah, it's still on.
I said,
Get your
let me,
subscription.
get a subscription. I was like, I have to try it one more. And for some reason, that time it clicked. And we've talked about this. I feel like some games, it's about your frame of mind, what's happening in your life, what's happening in the world also. And I think it was pandemic time when the game really clicked for me. So maybe that had something to do with it, but it really clicked. And the way Death Stranding 1 builds and really makes you wait for each weapon, each upgrade. Yeah. It's so crazy satisfying. But that was my introduction to Death Stranding. I hated it at first, but now it's like if I had a top 3,
it would be there.
It would be up there.
Like,
we have
yes.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. You hang
Stop, guys.
So to the 70,000 or like more people calling it a walking simulator, what do you guys want
are
to
not
say?
entirely wrong.
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
But there is so much more to it.
Yeah.
Like, if I guess it's not a game for a teenager.
Of
Like,
course
if
not.
you're
No.
brought up on TikTok, you can't survive this.
Yo, attention span is a major
Like,
thing.
it's almost meditative. Right? Like, I never gave this game a shot, but when I gave it a shot, I was like, okay, I'm doing it as homework. But then after a point, I just use it as an excuse with the family to not sleep all night and tell, like, listen, I have a recording for this. I need to study because I knew I could get away with even half a game, right? But I was like looking forward to it when the whole world goes to sleep. At 12 a.m., I load up my console and then I'm just playing till like 11 in the morning the next day. And it's just like therapy, bro.
It is strangely therapeutic because it's relaxing, it's intense at the same time.
That
world building.
And the low-roar soundtrack in part 1, right? It just kicks in randomly when you're least expecting it. It's suddenly Time Force going on and you're just walking along, suddenly the soundtrack pops.
Yes.
And then you're like,
Listen, there's so much to talk about. We all have 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we're still on the first game. We're still on DS1.
The music, right? Like, I've caught myself just randomly walking around in the night with the stars, the moon, looking up. And it's just, and the tracks that they've chosen, I think we're going on a different direction. I mean, there is more to this game than...
There is a lot.
No, but the
Yeah,
music
yeah.
is wonderful. The music is
soundtrack
wonderful.
is-
The guy passed away. The low-roar singer, he passed away
I
after
know.
DS1.
Oh, man.
That's even more of a
That's...
tribute of sorts.
Yeah.
Also, trekking is easier in part 2.
So I hear.
The terrain is a little more
Are we
forgiving
getting
than part
into this?
1.
Are we getting
I
into
have
this
seen
now,
it does
guys?
start to auto step. Like, just correct me if this is true or not. But like, I've seen in some places where you had to hold R2 or L2 and press X.
See, that's the safest. You press L3, L2 auto together and just run.
But can I say that...
No, that was in 1 also.
The step automatically when you're
When
going
he
to
does
Side
the left
steps,
and
yeah,
right.
he does that.
That was in 1 also.
automatically.
That was in 1 also.
It was in 1 also, but it is a lot more forgiving in 2.
Correct. Yeah.
It's a lot more like, go have a little more fun this time.
Yeah, like in 1, if you started sprinting and if you hit
Even
some
if you didn't hit L2 or 2,
yeah, and
you were definitely
and you hit
falling.
some terrain that was like marked red, you'd start stumbling.
Yeah.
But here it's a lot more forgiving.
Yeah.
You can
But I like that bit also in 1. Like, the quips were nice. You
The
know,
real-
Norman Reedus would say
Yeah,
something
you like-
funny every time. Do that again, dumbass. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah, there was one
He
point.
does say in
there
this
was
one as
one
well.
point.
Yeah, there are some clips.
No,
like
there
that.
was one point when
Yeah.
in part 1 towards the end you have to sprint back all the way to the beginning of the game for Amelie and not Amelie. What's Fragile, right? You have to sprint back all the way. Like you've covered the entire game, and in the last mission you have to go all the way back. So if you've not built roads on the way, then you have to trek all the way back.
in the UCA, yeah.
And you have no option, so you're doing it because you want to get to the end of the game. And now you're just running because you're like, I know this terrain.
Yeah.
And at one point it says stamina is less. Drink your energy drink. I'm like, no, bro, I'm going. I'm going to reach. Norman stops and he's like, bro, can you just get a glass? Can you just drink? Like, I'm really thirsty. I could really do with a drink right now. I'm like, okay, man. Drink.
Such a way to remind you.
So, okay. 2 first impressions. Let's go one by one.
Of part 2?
Of part 2.
Oh, I thought 2 of you give first impressions.
Why would I
Same thing.
Start, Jose. You haven't spoken enough.
Yeah,
this time.
yeah.
Okay.
So much.
So 1994, when I first started playing,
We're talking about DS2 now. Oh, so you played DS2 in 94 and DS1 in 84.
He played it before Kojima made it. Like,
Yeah, Kojima Inception nahi hua tha.
He played like on the book, on the sketches.
He put it. He was like Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception. Like ye tu banayega.
there's so many different angles to discuss though. Are we talking about, you want to go first impressions,
First
DS?
impression. What? Like, because you played the
First impression DS2.
Okay, so first impressions, DS2 was, that opening was stunning. I really loved the opening. It was fantastic. I love like I was saying, I love that he kept that formula the same. It's the same kind of opening from 1 where you're walking through the scenery, you meet Fragile, then you see the BTs
Yes.
walking around, and then there's that encounter. I don't.
Yeah,
for people
spoiler
who
rahe
have
jate,
played-
हाँ. Like I was like,
Of course.
oh, he just walks into it. Huh? Have we
Yeah. So,
and you're like,
so
shit.
in 2, it's the same thing until that thing changes over there. So I really like that he kept the foundation the same,
But
same
quicker.
formula, but everything is quicker. I feel like the game is paced. I don't want to say better because I like the
Yeah, I
pacing
like the
of
basic,
one.
but this is like it's assuming that you've put the grind in for DS1. So this is like your reward. Like, okay, you've upgraded now. You stuck with us through 1. So here's like, you know everything about it. Now we don't have to like sit and
As a
handhold you.
as a DS1 snob, I feel I feel the opposite actually over here. I feel like he's made it easier for people who are gonna play DS2 first.
But
You know
if you
what I
play
mean?
DS2 first, if you play DS2 first, you will not be able to play DS1.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
You can
I guess.
quote me on that. If you play DS2 first, you can't play DS1. It will just not wipe. I mean, if you're a
But-
completionist, you will probably go back and put yourself through it.
Yeah.
But you cannot play DS1 after DS2.
But for me, I've played as someone who's played DS1, then played DS2. It makes me want to go back and finish everything off.
Is it
in
because you miss
DS1.
what DS1 felt?
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
yeah.
But I feel like Death Stranding 2 on the beach is more upgraded visually. More striking textures are upgraded. It loads faster. Everything is better about
It
the
loads?
game.
What load? There is no load.
There's no load. Really.
It's just like hit continue and you're there.
Exactly.
It's obviously a big upgrade. Pacing.
That Decima engine.
They've changed so much from Death Stranding 1 in terms of it's faster. It's I don't want to say it's fast food because I don't know if that's the correct.
I don't think it's gone that direction.
No, I get what you're saying. I get.
I feel like it's easier. It's like
It is easier.
It's Death
It is
Stranding
easier.
for people who are finding Death Stranding 1 too much of a pain.
So you're saying it's not got that delayed gratification thing going for it, basically, which you really liked
No,
about the first game.
it's not even delayed gratification. I think he's just talking about DS1 was a different game altogether. It was a different beast altogether.
It's a different beast.
It's
That's
a
good way to
different beast,
describe it.
right?
Yeah,
Like DS2 is for me DS1 with steroids.
Right.
It's more forgiving. Like for example, when you're coming across terrorist camps and BT encounters, you're more prepared this time.
I mean,
like
they give you
you're
everything.
looking forward to going in and bajawing them.
Yes.
Versus in DS1, you'll be like, might as well skirt around it because this
we
engagement
would,
takes too
we would
long.
avoid all
of
the
it like a
bandits
plague.
and stuff because it was too much to deal with.
Correct. It was a little overwhelming.
What I was going to say is this is what we're talking about, which is if you want to get into Death Stranding 2 is the easiest route in.
But it would be a disservice if you didn't play
play
DS1.
one. Yeah.
Because it has a recap and all in DS2. But finding out that story 1 hour at a time when slowly a little bit of it is revealed and it's
So,
an
The
experience.
recap doesn't go over the turning points anyways. So it's like you don't get the gist of it.
It was
You do get
it's
it,
a base
but
recap.
It's a very
Very
big, it's
mota
like
mota.
14 comic book type, 14 pages
the,
with voiceover.
the strokes are too broad.
It's
Like, let's
very
just say
broad,
that.
like the nuances, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole angle with Madge Nicholson in part 1 is completely skipped in the recap.
Exactly.
And I get it. They've skipped it in the recap.
God, where is he?
Correct.
What the hell? I just
That was
what
my
the hell
question even in Death Stranding 1. Like, where is he, bro? Like
Even in Madge Nicholson's episodes that you play in Death Stranding 1, like 4, 7 and 12, I think. I'm too fresh into it, so I remember. But you look forward to those encounters because it's a different game altogether. Every time you're doing a Madge Nicholson patch, you're almost playing Battlefront or Call of Duty to some extent. You're not playing Death Stranding
those were
anymore.
tough, no?
Those were pretty fun, tough, like rinse, repeat a little bit.
Yeah.
But they were the smallest chapters and the most like combat engaging wala thing. But
It was combat.
you will not know about that experience if you haven't played DS1.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the highs and the lows were very significant in DS1. Now DS2 I feel is going to be like a more tuck.
I googled this where I wanted to know if it makes sense for somebody to jump into Death
DS2
Stranding
directly.
2 directly without playing 1. And
They can.
DS snobs like me were like online. They were like, no, you
Screw
have to
you,
play one.
don't,
You
yeah.
have to play one.
Yeah.
But the way the game is set up, also, I feel like he set it up to make it easier for people who are not going to play
To
one.
adapt, yeah.
Because everything is on screen. Even the like in one, you've been playing for hours and hours and like a week, and you still don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But here in the first hour,
They tell you, like, this is the
everything is
world.
like for you, so you get it all.
Yes,
It's all explained.
You get everything.
The world discovery in DS1 is insane.
And you can shoot BTs right off the bat. And now, Cyril,
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm listening to these old
Old-timers.
talking about Death Stranding one. I thought I saw Jose Popenovi in this now or there. But okay, here's my take on the whole thing. Is that I feel like Death Stranding 2, you have to look at it as a separate game altogether, right? The enthusiasts will hate this thought.
No, we don't hate it.
Yeah, but it's catering to a
enthusiasts,
different set of people, the way I see it, right? It is easier. It is easier to play the game. The scale of the game is even far more vast.
That we don't know yet. I'm one
at least on
episode
the
in,
initial, at least on the graphics aspect of it, and from the way it draws, very like it's this vast and it brings a different set of people in, right? While if you go to Death Stranding 1, you're gonna play hours and hours and hours and hours, and if you notice, there is a whole shift to playing games faster now, right? To spending a lot less time into it. Not everyone is luxurious like Jose and Xerxes to be.
We'll have that judgment. We'll have that judgment. More luxury, guys.
But I feel like it caters to a more faster gameplay. It caters to a lot less mistakes, more focusing on the narrative, and
I was laughing when I said fast food.
yeah. So I feel like
But it's not
it
fast
kills
food,
it that way. It really kills the sense that you get into more narrative storytelling gameplay with Death Stranding 2. If I started with 1 and played that much, it caters to two different sets of people almost.
For example, we both played 1 and came to 2.
Yeah.
He almost didn't enjoy the pace of 2.
Yeah.
But I was like, love it. Like,
I love 2.
That break-in point is harder on 1.
Yeah. I love 2 because it gets straight to the point. Like
Correct.
it's constantly getting straight to the point of within the first 4 missions you're already in.
The first, like you covered
You're killing the
Mexico in
BTs,
episode 1.
yeah.
You've already covered Mexico.
Yeah.
Like in
the
first one,
Yeah.
the first 3-4 took a very long time to cover the
Correct.
entire network.
Yeah.
So they've reduced the back and forth. First they
Correct.
would do is like, go to point A, then go back to point
Correct.
B,
Yeah.
then go back to point A. Now they'll tell you about C.
Absolutely.
Here they're like, okay, you're here, go here, go here.
When
go
did
here.
we discover time shelters in Death Stranding 1 after how many
Much-
hours?
much
You see how
later.
the older they're getting into the why did I take so long to get? I get it. Okay,
Mushrooms you found in supermarket.
dude, but that was peeing. I was peeing and I found the mushroom. So the thing about 2, the thing about 2, what they do great is you said right. I think the question was, can someone jump into 2 first and then go backwards to 1? Yeah, to a certain level,
Yeah, they
yes,
can.
because I think 2 does a lot of backstory telling to tell you what you've missed out. So it could intrigue you to go back and
start with 2, yes.
The pace
But
is
you will
very
not be
different.
able to play 1.
yeah, maybe because the pace difference of
Very different pace. Very different
Yeah,
games.
it's very different.
If you guys weren't able to pick into Death Stranding 1 because of how slow it was, you will
love
not
that.
have that
Yeah,
problem
fair,
with
correct,
this. You can just get in and go.
Yeah.
the thing is, one had to do a lot of world building, right?
Lore building, genre building, like he created a new genre.
makes sense.
It is so much like, I mean, extinction factor, dooms, BTs, like all of this stuff. Like for a player to understand all this, you kind of have to ease into it, right? Death Stranding 2 doesn't have all those burdens. And now, like we were talking about the whole fast food angle.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 does seem to be a lot more action oriented. Like you can put on turrets on your vehicles now.
That's insane.
I haven't
That's
reached
amazing.
that.
I haven't reached that yet.
So
Yeah.
I mean, would you have thought of that in Death Stranding 1 and how that would have shifted the game?
No, but I still would probably do it.
Yeah, obviously.
I probably
If it's
still
in the
would
game,
do
you
it. Like,
you wouldn't.
I'm just like, I like to sneak in and go with the strand and like.
But that's the thing about Death Stranding 2, right? I mean, again, this has become another 1 versus 2, but it's about the fact that they're both insanely amazing games.
Yeah.
2, of course, from a graphical point of view, this has blown my mind. But like with 2, because it's so fast paced, you can explore a lot more.
Yeah.
Right? Because
You want
can
to do more side missions
Like your
now.
first mission, right? I have already gone like in the first campaign you come to
You went to the artist and all, right?
Yeah, I just went there and then I killed everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have the time. Let's just kill everyone.
Not kill.
Sorry.
You
you just
Batman them.
I put them to sleep.
Put them to
I put
sleep
them to sleep
temporarily.
Yeah. I
They'll
put
be
them to
back after
sleep.
you come back again.
Then I made a mistake. I forgot to carry the payload. So I went all the way to the... Then I'm like, oh. So I came back, but then...
Oh, and
There's enough
also
time.
in DS2, drop your backpack. You can drop your cargo.
At the time
Yeah.
shelter.
Yeah.
Not just the BT thing. You can drop it anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. You can
And
drop it
when
anywhere.
you take the terrorist camps out with that, it's like a different action game altogether.
Yeah,
like,
easier. There's less cargo on your
Sam
back.
becomes a brutal,
He's more
like,
agile.
hum-hum.
Yeah.
Like, it's proper bum action in there.
Right.
So,
But
there's
also
so many ways to play this
the
game.
intuitive part of the game, right? Like we've all reached that first giant BT, right?
Yeah, finished it.
And the fact that we both got multiple options, right? Like I got one where I got killed the first time, and it said, "You want to
Pretend like
pretend
you won."
like you won." I was like, "Wait, this seems like a trick question."
It's a cop-out.
Yeah,
it's
like
a
should,
cop-out.
but I'm like, "No, I'm a purist. I'll fight this guy."
You know, this happened in the second game itself. So now when you're having a conversation, you get those multiple narratives, like
Yeah.
very Horizon,
Yeah.
right?
4 choices.
Like Horizon has that where you decide the option, then you find out more lore. So when Fragile comes and says like, "Will you take this order?"
I did this.
I did the no, I will not.
You will not.
The game resets and picks you back all the way to the beginning.
But that's that quirky
That's the Kojima thing. Like you thought you have a choice,
Yeah.
but you don't.
Yeah, so it zooms back to the kitchen basically. It starts from there. And yeah, that's what I was like, maybe these options do have something to do with the gameplay.
Yeah, like
And
In the end, you have to accept the mission.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah, in 2 it also asks you in the beginning if you want to do this or not. I don't think I clicked on it. Like did
I said no. I don't want
that's what I was
to.
saying.
It went back to the kitchen. He's cooking again. I was like,
It resets the
Kojima.
day and you come back to that point and you have to choose again. And if you do it too many times, I did it twice, then you only have the option to accept.
Oh, acha, okay.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, he's stupid. Never mind.
What do you think the implication is there? Like the world ended if he didn't accept it? Maybe that?
No, it's
No, you
just that the
don't
game
get-
won't progress.
You're just stuck in that loop.
Yeah, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
In the
Okay,
end,
cool.
Yeah.
Then there's no game
They
then.
ask you multiple questions, right? Like you ask about the bombs, or you'll ask about.
Yeah.
I ask them everything.
Yeah, even
same.
I'm like, I will
I'll
exhaust
click
everything. I know
everything.
what I
Yeah.
need to go ahead,
Yeah.
but I will click on the other 3
Because I
first.
feel it's going to be rewarding in the end.
Yeah, because-
I feel there's going to be something there.
No, I just get to know more about the world because that world is so. We're
how
getting
you
there.
managing this stuff?
We are getting there almost. Have you seen all the missiles being thrown
Exactly.
around? We're getting there. It will help to know.
Oh, no.
Anyways, Instagram telling us how to survive nuclear missions now.
It's teaching us to survive the world. I love it.
Bill Bunker's body.
Ask the right questions.
Yeah. But very quick summary to the fact that why I like 2 so much is the fact that
You don't have time.
I don't have time. Second, I think it caters to different set of people, right? Because I skew more
does.
from Battlefield, Formula One, very fast-paced games, right? And then you come to
ADHD
that,
games.
Whole thing was like, you're
ADHD.
not going to play this game. And I was like, why? What do you think I'm not going to play?
Yeah, because
Death
honestly,
Stranding?
after playing Death Stranding 1, I felt like he'd be like, what the fuck is this, bro? Why have you recommended this to
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
What the
Like
hell?
even I thought I wouldn't like the game.
But what I want to say is that Death Stranding 1 and Death Stranding 2 they're the same game, but they're so different.
Like
But neither, for me at least, that's not a negative thing in either
any way,
case.
yeah.
Of
Like
these-
we have all of these points of views from a very early point in the game because
yeah.
we've just like started getting our hands onto it, right? So we might take back our words if we talk to us like a week later.
No, I will stick by I love the game.
No, about the fast food part.
Exactly, that's what I like.
Like you might say, okay, it's not fast food, it's kebabs.
No,
It's still nutritious.
That for sure, it's a faster version of Death Stranding 1. It's like everything is sped up. You get all the information quicker. You're
But
getting
the
to
thing
do
is, I
things
still
faster.
don't like to call it sped up because it's like you earn all of this by the end of part 1.
No, I'm talking
So now
about.
this
I'm
is
talking
like
about if somebody
you're
gets
in
into the
thick of
game
it.
before playing 1.
Okay.
I think
Right.
it's safe to call it streamlined. I think that's the best way to put it. It's just streamlined.
But
Everything.
you know why I don't like that? Because I
Why?
love Death Stranding 1.
And you-
I like how it was not
Streamlined.
I just want to.
No, don't touch me.
I just want to say,
I don't
on behalf of all the new players who are playing Death Stranding 2,
die.
Thank you for making it
thank
easier
you
to get
for
in.
making it easier for the newer players. We appreciate it. Yeah. We really got the point now. Let's just move on to Death Stranding 2 and focus on
Still
that.
saying, play the first game first. It's a
No.
worth it experience.
What I wanted to say is that Death Stranding is an exclusive club.
Yeah.
Okay, it really is it's a club.
Yeah.
Welcome
and
to the
there
club.
are 2 members over here.
And if you laugh more, I'll kick you out of the club. No, it really is because I mean, if you just get onto the internet, type Death Stranding 1, 2 tough, and see what happens, okay? You see the shit people are
But
saying.
it wasn't even that
It
difficult.
wasn't tough. It was just tough to get into.
Tough to get into.
Tough to get it
Yeah.
to click with people.
But humor me. What happens?
What?
With
What happens? You said Google and see what happens. What happens?
Nothing. You will hear people complaining. That's all.
Oh my god, people complaining.
They are whining.
Walking simulator. My life is wasted. I've spent so
So
much
wait,
time.
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So you're saying that we should play Death Stranding 1, so we go to the frustration of
No,
what...
you will not feel
you're-
frustrated.
Is that
I mean, I think you're old enough to respect it.
Now, if you're part of the club,
Yeah.
okay, and you
Oh, am I part of...
You are,
we're part of the club.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thanks.
after you cut your hair, but no, you're part of the club.
Yeah.
But once you're into Death Stranding 2, you love the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I genuinely feel like if you get into it and you really really love it, you
Yeah.
love Death Stranding 1 also.
Fair. Okay.
It's just different
It's
pacing.
a little
like
more
you said.
grind.
Yeah.
Little more grind.
Yeah, but like I said, right? I played a little bit of 1 and understanding the frustrations that y'all have gone through 1. But I mean, whatever. It's a build up. I get that. I think 2 caters to a whole different set of people. Like it's just I feel. I mean, so far from what I've seen in the
Same,
game, yeah. I mean,
same.
it could open up later.
But it is true. 2 clicks faster.
Much faster.
yeah.
By the time I reached the tutorial BT, like Avinash was saying, the tutorial BT. By the time I reached there, I was thinking, he's done it again.
Yeah.
I was sucked into it. I knew that
Like I'm looking
my
forward to
next
playing
month
it.
is gone.
Like I know I don't even have a shoot about this next week, but I'm still gonna go home and play it every night.
As people who played the game for a long time, the first one, you guys liked the second one.
Yes.
Love. Like I was saying, there's no negative connotation
Right.
to it being more streamlined or faster.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It just feels like a natural progression. I don't know
I
why.
enjoyed both the experience.
I honestly feel like he said, natural, and it's like just packaged differently. The gameplay is
Yeah,
very
you have all
much
the
the same.
information. Now go ahead and do the thing that because by the end of 1 also you were taking on BTs and mules left, right and center. You were pretty badass. So I was like, when I was finishing 1, I was like, wait, are they going to make me earn all of these skill sets all over again?
I get what you're saying,
Like I worked really hard to get all of this.
I thought at least 2 would start with a better exoskeleton. No?
But they didn't give the exoskeleton, but they at least like put the weapons in there. You
Dude,
walk out with the assault rifle in the first mission.
The stun gun.
The mazer.
The
mazer gun. They didn't call it taser, they called it a mazer gun.
Mazer, yeah, the mazer gun.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It was so good. I enjoyed the
Just
mazer
edit
gun.
that part out.
Yeah, so we keep. I think we should keep that for
For me,
sure.
the strap.
Absolutely keep that.
And even
Yeah.
the aiming is easier.
Yeah,
It's harder to miss.
But I think you might have aim assist on.
Whatever the
is-
default
I
setting
didn't
is.
have.
easier, it's
I didn't have it. But the thing is, like, when you're trying to aim the first BT, like, I was all over the place because he's right in you, and I was like,
comes and slaps you.
yeah, I was like, dude, he slaps you in his mouth. I was like, this is
And the part where he
weird.
sucks you in is like.
Yeah, like, what's going on out here?
And you know when he's sucking you in, you just do L2 R2 and walk in the opposite direction. You don't even get closer. You don't. No, so if he's sucking you there, face this way, press L2 R2 and just keep walking. You will not go behind.
And you're supposed to shoot him in the tonsils.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you realize that
exactly.
so
Whenever you
drop your blood bombs and assault rifle.
Also, you get a lot more weapons.
Yeah, the
from
social
the
system.
social keeps on throwing stuff.
I'm like, I love it. Like, I'm like, no matter how
I was like,
unprepared I am, there's always going to be more.
Here's some more blood bombs. I was like, okay, great.
But see, a lot of these conversations are happening because of the Death Stranding 1 and then going to 2. There's a huge number of people who are going to play 2 first and never look at 1.
Yeah.
And they're still going to love it.
And they're going to
Because
miss
it's
out on a
amazing.
mad experience.
Did we like systematically put like the one guy, Death Stranding 1 guys there and the Death Stranding 2 guys here?
No, we are
It just
two
happened.
guys.
It just happened.
We are 2 guys too. We're just saying that you have to earn your stripes.
But now we are unsure if we want you to be a Death Stranding guy.
I've seen this in like other games too, like Monster Hunter, previous games going to the new games. This is to getting to arcade, etc. The Souls games. This stuff happens everywhere. I don't think it's like that with Death Stranding. I mean, the gameplay loop is still pretty much the same. The only thing that is there about this game, it's more action oriented, like with the turrets and everything, and with the combat in your face. Like you said, people are usually terrified of combat in Death Stranding 1 because the combat was, like, for the lack of a better word, janky.
No, it wasn't janky.
No,
It was pretty realistic to what that universe
Right.
was.
Still the same in
Like-
2 also. I feel like
Just the point where you can leave your cargo behind. Okay. So you don't have to worry about when
But
you're
you
going.
could do that in 1 also.
You couldn't.
No.
But you just offload it.
You can leave
You would offload the cargo. Over here, you literally have an option saying remove backpack and cargo.
You couldn't
So-
do that in 1?
No.
I thought you could do that.
No,
in
that's a new
Mac.
feature. So you could offload each article separately and then
correct,
come
correct.
back and
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
on back
correct,
and then go auto arrange.
Yeah, you can take
just
the
leave
whole
the
thing
cargo
off.
and backpack
Oh, yeah,
off,
that's the difference.
and then just go all guns blazing in. So even if you get hit, you're not gonna drop the cargo, get damaged the cargo, and you don't worry about that.
Okay, so aside from all that, what have you guys been up to? Let the audience know as well, and where they can find you and everything.
I've been finding people who have not played Death Stranding
telling
1,
them play it.
and I will abuse them.
Yeah, I'm creating WhatsApp groups now, which is community groups for Death Stranding 2 and all the games that are happening because we're finding like-minded people. Elden Ring, Death Stranding 2, anything that's coming next.
So I'm just happy to have a game which really like has this strong story and gameplay element which makes me want to switch on my PlayStation despite not having enough time and being like, it's okay, I'll sleep a little less, but I want to play a little more. Once in a generation you get games like that, and this is one of those.
Nice. Okay, so anyways, that was the talk. If you,
It's like kuch zyada intense ho gaya.
it is.
At the moment he finishes that part,
Bus.
well said. So it's just well
Thank you.
said.
So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and if you like the video, like the video. If you guys like the talk, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and follow these guys. Bye.
PlayStation